Namaste, my beautiful queens. Losing my voice. As I promised you, the spread, which is called The Truth of It, we'll be using what I want you to pay attention. This is not pick up the card. This is the large spread, 7 cards. The thing is, when when you do the spread to a situation, you can add cards, you can look deeper into it. For example, there is a certain question in certain position in a spread. For example, his true feelings. When you do it yourself or when I do it privately, sometimes what happens, for those of you who do tarot cards or are going to do it or interested in it, sometimes when you put down the card, it might not, it sometimes seems like it's out of pattern, like it doesn't make sense with the rest of the spread. So when you put a card excuse me, to a certain position, to a certain questions, sometimes it's required to put clarification. You want to know what exactly this card means. So you can say, I need clarification for this card, and then you can put another one to see. Usually, I do 2 cards to 1 position. For example, what are his feelings? I put 2 cards so I see deeper and more clearly. Of course, when I do the spreads like this for you, I cannot do 12, 14, 16, 22 cards because it's going to take me forever. So I do 1 card to each position. But sometimes if I see it needs clarification, then I can put more cards. I'm going to use this deck, which is very rare. Don't try to find it. It's not available in states. It's actually not available in many places. Please look at the picture of the card because it's more of an oracle type. It's not classical Rider Waite or Aleister Crowley. So look at the picture, become the part of the picture. So the truth of it spread, 7 cards. Goals he openly shows you, his true goals. Feelings he shows you, his true feelings. What he will do openly, what he will do behind your back. Outcome of the situation. Of course, I would add to spread like this advice to you, what you should do, what you should not do, and other things. But in this spread, we will do the 7 cards, and we'll take, for advice, we will take the psychic tarot of heart. So again, this is not pickup card. This is their spread, which is called the truth of it. Now, first card, goals he openly shows you. Second, true goals of his. Feelings he shows you. True feelings of his. What he will do openly. What he will do behind your back, if he is going to do behind your back something. In tarot, no cards all negative, like the positive card have shadows. Negative card, even Tower has positive vibe in it, even it's difficult. The only card you need to be worried about in relationship, especially 7 of Swords, you're being deceived, and 10 of Swords, you're going to be betrayed. And outcome. So we will look into this spread. Take what resonates. I don't expect one spread to resonate with everybody, but if you are watching this video, there is something in here you need to look into, you need to hear, you need to think about, feel your vibration. Let's put it right here. So let us go. What goals, intentions. He openly shows you. Five of Swords. Well, no good already. But at the same time, this is if he openly shows you this, then you know exactly what you're dealing with. Openly, you have tons of conflicts and fight. Being honest with you, I wish it was differently, but as I almost always say, don't shoot a messenger. There is an expression which comes with Five of Swords. Me and fire were playing a game. So there cannot, when you are playing with a fire, it can be only one winner, right? Either fire wins and you are gonna be gone, especially if you're a paper man or a wax woman, or the fire is gonna die, you're gonna use some water. Unfortunately, what he shows you, he doesn't show you fair play. So unfortunately, there is a lot of fears and a lot of doubts, and he hurts you a lot, and he openly does it. My questions is like, I don't even, if I was doing your spread, my question would be, why the hell were you doing with this man? Because the problem with Five of Swords, that it's someone who enjoys the war. In classical deck, it's a man standing on a battlefield with dead bodies around, and he holds all the swords for those who fell. So it's a victory by any cost. He is gonna, it's my way or highway. He's not gonna compromise. He hurts other people's feelings, and in this case yours, and unfortunately he doesn't have compassion. It's a tragic situation. He openly shows you such behavior in which he can humiliate you, hurt you, bring you pain, whether it's abuse, whether it's psychologically or emotionally, and unfortunately you crying out there in a corner, but this one doesn't have no compassion. He doesn't feel your pain. He doesn't care. Girls, please, of course it's not true so about all of you, but this is typical narcissist. But this one narcissist, usually covert narcissist, behaves like an angel but acts like a demon. But he acts like a demon in such ways that nobody believes he's a demon. In this position, this is how openly he shows it to you. So why the hell you're dealing with this man? But if this is openly what he shows you, how about we see what true goals of his, why he behaves like this? This is very stubborn man. This is cold man. This is unpredictable man. Why the heck, why to deal with someone like this? True goals, what he really wants. This is what he openly shows you, his goals. I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna keep on fighting and hurting you. What are his true goals? And his true goals are Nine of Wands. Again, please look at the photo. You see that this is a wooden, how to say, like a wooden boy, like a Pinocchio. The boy made out of wood. And his feet are standing with his roots to the ground. And it means that his true goals are standing where he is standing right now. His goals are absolutely not connecting to no movement at all. This is a resistance for any movement. If we put these two together, unfortunately we don't see too good of a picture. Girls, as I already said, I am here not necessarily to give you happily ever after. I am here to tell you what is here in the spread, and probably you need to pay attention and you need to think if this is something ringing the bell. So a very deep deck. So you see him standing here. It's a boy tree who has roots in the ground. So him resisting of any changes, resisting his own freedom, especially if he openly tells you and shows you that he's gonna do only what he wants, only what he likes, only my way or highway. We can put these two together, and unfortunately we don't see too much of a potential of happily ever after with this man. Yes, Nine of Swords talk about partner who became like this because in the past that was the only way for him to survive. Covert narcissists, my beautiful girls, don't happen out of blue. There were reasons for covert narcissists to develop into covert narcissists, usually in the childhood. But unfortunately, we have this coldness, we have this separation, we have absence of true involvement of emotions, feelings, and exchange of true energies of love. It's a cold heart. This is a card of cold heart. This is a card of cold heart. He's not gonna do nothing is gonna change. You cannot change Five of Swords. He's gonna resist any changes at all. So my advice would be, why the hell you need a guy like this? Now, next, again, don't shoot a messenger. I'm reading the cards. I have to read them how they are. If you're listening to it, maybe there is something you need to hear. So, goals. Of course, goals, he openly shows you, I'm not gonna budge. Goals, he openly shows you, I'm gonna only do my own way. And true goals, I'm not gonna budge. So these two cards pretty much enhancing the meaning of each other. Feelings, he shows you, and when I do your personal spread and the cards are like this and you want me to tell you fairy tale, what am I supposed to do? Take this and say, he's gonna fight for your love. I mean, I cannot do this. I have to tell you what's there. Now, feelings, he shows you. Oh yeah, Eight of Pentacles. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. What do you see here in this card? Eight of Pentacles, unfortunately, not much feelings he shows you, because Pentacles not connected to feelings and emotions like Cups and Wands. But at the same time as this is the feelings he shows you, that in order to make it somehow work, but we have to take into consideration this too before that. Now he shows you that if you want it to work out, then it requires very, very hard work. But there is a problem here. We now have to take into consideration the cards which we already saw. And if we take it into consideration that the work is required from you, what is required from you? Be patient. What is required from you? You need to do everything necessary. Rise and fall, burn and rise like phoenix in order to make this relationship work. Feelings he shows you are unfortunately not much of feelings he shows you. We already see it in previous cards. But what he shows you, that it's up to you. It's up to you. Be patient with me. Take care of me. Be attentive to me. Show your emotions to me. Be faithful. Be sincere. Be modest. Don't make me jealous. You know, if you want to be having a man like me in your life, you have to, it's a hard work. You have to do this, you have to do that. What you see right here, of course, you see someone right here. There is a person who is drawing a sacred symbols and studying magic and studying the sacred knowledge, and it requires patience and requires time and requires a lot of efforts. You see the bats here, and so on, so on and so on. Patience, dedication. So his feelings he shows you is pretty much, you darling have to give your time, your dedication if you want to stay with me. Unfortunately, some of you take this man as your first and last love. I have lots of questions to this man and about this man. Cards are negative. Now, his true feelings, the feelings he does not show to you. Two of Swords. Why such a negative spread? Unfortunately, it's a negative spread, my dear girls. Not much of a good things. Two of Swords. So what you see in Two of Swords, you see this woman turning with her back, with the right here. And unfortunately, his true feelings are not far away from what we have already seen. Swords, girls, you are dealing with most energy. You have to look at the cards. Most of the energies of or Two of Swords. Again, if you want to keep this man in your life, I honestly don't see any reasons why you need to keep this man in your life. But again, it's compromising. So his true feelings card doesn't have too much of the true feelings there. It's true feelings when deep inside he's asking himself a question of should I even continue all this? Does it make sense to continue all this? Should I end it all together? Because unfortunately he knows what he wants, and he knows what you want, and you really put up with tons and tons of things, which in my opinion, my beautiful queens, you must absolutely not put up with those things. Absolutely. And his real true feelings is, unfortunately, we see with all the cards we already seen, is absence of involvement of his heart chakra or any other chakras. He is cold. He is especially if we take the Five of Swords and Two of Swords right here, you are completely with a wrong man right here. All the cards are talking about you being with a wrong man, and you simply win if you simply completely leave this whole thing. Because the only thing good can be in this is you can have this diplomatic relationship. You know, I do this, you do this. Don't dream of his love or of his involvement of true feelings and true emotions, so on and so on. Sometimes it can talk about marriage, if this is your husband, marriage of two people who can't stand each other but have the common goal. For example, let's stay together because we have kids together. Let's stay together. Or if you are separated with this man, sometimes it's a situation when you are in separation but you have a child together. So when he comes to see a child, you have to spend time with him. But hopes to awaken any emotions and feelings in this man, unfortunately, are close to none. I am sorry, girls, such a spread. This is an example for you. An example for you that sometimes this spread can tell you what is there, and it's up to you to choose. Walk away from this not a good man at all, with whom you are crying more than you are laughing, with whom you are being mistreated, with whom you are being hurt, with whom you are being you live suffering, crying, and in pain. My question, why the hell? Sometimes, yes, a spread can be like this, and I have to read it to you as it is, because some of you want personal reading with me, and when I tell you something like this, you're like, oh no, why are you so negative? Could you say something good about him? Well, there is nothing good about him. How can you say something good about Cobra? How good it is to be sleeping with Cobra. Can I say something good about it? Not. No. If you're dealing with a rat, believing that your love is going to turn him into a swan, can I say something good about it? Not. And card will show you, card will tell you what is there. So, what he will do openly. Oh, look how strange are the cards. So, 4 of Wands. So what you can expect, 4 of Wands is a first positive card in the spread. This card is very positive. So, but even though the card is positive, we have to take into consideration all the negative cards we already seen. This is what I was telling you. Everything is bad, but suddenly the good. What he will show you openly, if we take into consideration this card, then we can see right here in 2 of Pentacles a woman which is walking away. We can see that you can get sick and tired of waiting, of being patient, of being compromising, so on and so on. And you, very possible, might turn away a will means a wisdom and try to walk away from him. 5 of Pentacles doesn't like somebody walking away from them what comes to their own will. So what we have here, and we have 8 of Cups. So the only positive card in here, 4 of Wands, and now I opened up what he will do behind your back. Girls, I am sorry, very negative, but suddenly, after all this hell you have been going through with this man, for some of you girls, this is your boyfriend, husband. For some of you, this is your ex-husband, because cards show you that you have been dealing with this guy for quite a bit of time. So you get tired and sick and you're walking away, and suddenly look what he will openly show. Completely different what he will do behind your back. Openly, suddenly, he realizes that you will walk away. You're sick and tired of this. And he openly starts to show you that he is very serious about you. 4 of Wands openly showing you absolute incredible improvement of their situation. He shows you that the rat turned into a swan, or a snake turned into a swan, and he shows you harmony. He suddenly shows you warmth of his heart. He suddenly brings you 2 tickets to a cruise. He suddenly girls, you know what this whole situation reminds me? This is a true story. This is an absolute true story. A man buys 2 tickets to Paris. I swear this is it. 2 years of relationship of something what I have just described you. And he buys 2 tickets to Paris. They come to Paris, spend 2 days in Paris, and then he leaves her note in the hotel that he's leaving her for another woman. My question was why the hell he couldn't do it before taking her to Paris. But the thing is that Five of Swords, it's really sometimes their actions are ridiculous. So look at that. Openly, he shows you that everything suddenly became wonderful. Suddenly, he can take you to a vacation or spend beautiful weekend with you girls. You know how many times I've seen it? Unfortunately, you know how many times I have seen this situation. We've spent such a beautiful weekend. I read the email. He was so close. He was making love with me so beautifully. He was talking his heart. He was so open. And then he was gone. He doesn't answer the phone calls, he doesn't answer text messages, and he blocked me from anywhere, everywhere. And when she comes to him, actually tries to talk to her, he cuts her off like what the Five of Swords has. Because Five of Swords will not let you leave him. Five of Swords will leave you himself, because this is how he feels as a victorious man. Girls, please, again, I don't expect it to resonate with everybody, but you have to see if there are any red flags you see in here and think about it. If something, what you just heard is there. So everything is wonderful, everything is great. You spend wonderful time together. He suddenly show you openly that he's all there. He changed. He wants to be with you. He wants to marry you, blah, 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 blah. Behind your back, what do you see? Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups in classical deck is a man who walks away. In this deck, you see a man sitting and reading a book. And Eight Cups here. A man who had made up his mind to stay alone. The Eight of Cups is a breakup, unfortunately. That weekend or that several nights you're going to spend together is going to end up what he's going to do behind his back. He is going to say a goodbye. He is going to leave. That union falls apart. He does it behind your back while openly acting like he changed and he wants to be with you and he wants to make it all possible. Sometimes this is him leaving physically, to leaving the place, to another country, to another city, and you find out about it much later or several days later. But this is ending of relationship, ending of everything you've had. Does it behind your back. So my beautiful queens, this spread unfortunately is very, very sad. But again, this is a spread and I had to read it as it is, as how I do your personal reading. If it's wonderful things there, I will tell you. But if the things are not that wonderful, then I will tell you also. Outcome of this whole situation. Outcome, my beautiful queens. Look at that. Knight of Cups. Very interesting outcome. If we put this, him living, their absolute breakage of this man and you, thanks heaven you don't need a man like this. The outcome of this whole situation is a new chance for love. Knight of Cups. And you see this man, I don't know if you see it clearly. You see the owl and the man riding an owl, and he is flying across some spaces and flying towards you. This is absolutely new relationship and absolutely new man. So through all these things you've been with this man, we are having in a classical deck, it's a man riding a horse, and this one is riding an owl. And this is a new chance, an event which comes unexpectedly into your life because he brings the good news. and the good news of a new man. And for you, you can suddenly receive a letter from someone you knew before, maybe several years ago, or maybe, maybe several decades ago. New spring. This is the card of new spring, new romance, new man, mystery of life, emotional rising. He comes to heal all the wounds which this one caused you, all the wounds which you, all the pain, all the suffering, because this is a messenger of true love. Because what we were looking at here, it was karmic, dark, so-called unpleasant dark karma right here. You are done with it, because 8 of Cups also has a meaning of your karma had been paid. You are done with it. And suddenly comes the true one, the real one, the soulmate, who will in a short period of time heal all the wounds caused by this one. And we pull one card from heart, and we are having here the card shine. Shine together with the Knight of Cups. This is your time to shine, and he is going to turn that light inside of you. You are going to temporarily lose this light from all the pain caused by this one, and this one comes springtime, new love, soulmate, and your ability and opportunity to shine, to love, and to be loved. This, my beautiful queens, all I have to tell you in this spread. I hope it was helpful. Namaste.